Carson Wentz was on the run all night long. I only watched a piece of the game and went to bed.
He wasn't a dodge, though.
They said he couldn't stay in the pocket. He had to keep running out.
Yeah, it's...
They said that Dallas rush was like coming out.
All right. Here we go. Another episode of Birds Breakdown. I tell you guys, here, give me 1 second. Let me turn the lights on a little bit. Let me get everything up here for us. All right. We're going here. As you can tell, nobody's really excited about being here except one guy. He's our Dallas Cowboys fan. I'm sure he's real excited. He comes here every week. So I'm going to let him beat me up here a little bit in a little bit. But anyways, I want to start off. I want to thank everybody for all the well wishes for my birthday. I really do appreciate everybody who took the time to say something to me on Facebook and everybody who came out to Marty McGee's last night to help me celebrate. I tell you, the Eagles did not give me a really good birthday present last night, so that was definitely one of the things that I was a little unhappy about. But I definitely want to thank a couple of people specifically. Joe McGee, he's a great, he owns all the bars in Prospect Park. He's one of those guys who definitely thinks outside the box and definitely throws different types of parties. He let me blow up the cowboy cakes. We had a great time doing that stuff. Anybody who was there all had a great time, except for the fact that the Eagles stunk the bed. Anyways, Monty G from coming all the way from South Philly to come say hello to me, spend a little bit of time on my birthday. I really do appreciate it. I know he doesn't like to leave the city, but he came out to the burbs to wish me a happy birthday, and I really do appreciate that, Monty. All the guys from the Edge of Philly Sports. We did a great show yesterday. Joe, Al, and Fred, you guys are the best. I love doing shows with you guys. I tell you, the only thing that we were missing was an Eagles win. Again, it was one of those things that they just decided to give me a big egg for my birthday. And I feel like I just smashed it on my head, is what I kind of felt like, after yesterday. So, anyways, I'm going to get right to the Birds Breakdown. This week is sponsored by CBD Philly. For all your CBD needs, Philly loves CBD. Use the code TPSG15. Get a 15% discount. You tell them the Philly Sports Guy sent you, and definitely they'll take care of you. They got a new location out in Fox Chase at 7956 Oxford Avenue. Now Philadelphia 19111. It's right on the edge of Philadelphia and Fox Chase. Go check out their store. It's a great spot. I went there for their grand opening. Was there hanging out with Dumpy. Dumpy, the big guy with the big tattoos. Just got a new one. He came there for the grand opening right before he went off and got a new tattoo. Everybody probably saw it. The new gritty tattoo on him. He's doing great. That's Philadelphia for you. But anyways, I want to get right to the Birds Breakdown. I tell you, they got to do better about slow starts. It was bad enough. It's bad enough that they fumbled the first ball. And I'm not exactly sure what happened with Goddard there. It looked like it looked like that he just dropped the ball. I can't say I was not on the field, but when you look at the hit, it didn't even look like they hit his arm. I can't tell that they tried to grab that ball and it just looked like he dropped it. And you cannot do that. I remember last year, there's only Eagles around the ball. We got the ball, holding the ball up after the play, but there wasn't a clear recovery. I don't understand how that happened, but there definitely was a clear recovery on this because there was only Cowboys around it. I don't know exactly what happened with Dallas there. He dropped the ball, obviously, and they get that ball. Only have to go 45 yards for a touchdown. It's not the best way to start it off. We might as well defer. If we're going to take the kickoff, you can't lose the ball in the first 3 plays. We're actually doing something. We were running the ball, gets our first pass, make a completion, fumble the ball. Score a touchdown. All right. Second play. Second play, once we get the ball back, and it's a first sack ever by that guy Lawrence. He ain't done nothing the entire time he's been with Dallas. They gave him all this money. He had some fire. He had some fire lit under him because he said, all right, we're going to be there to play. Doug, you think you're going to win this game? You're not. and he brought it, and they didn't. So I got to say that I felt yesterday that, again, the slow start didn't happen, but I did some research. There's 5 games that we were behind in the first half. And really, if you wanted to count the Green Bay game that I don't have up here, that they were down 10-0 in the first quarter, that should also get mentioned up there. But here it is, that these 5 games, minus 13 against the Redskins. We all remember that, right? At least we came back. Atlanta, minus 4. The Lions, minus 10. The Vikings, and then Dallas, 14 and 20 points. You cannot win games when you're that far behind. Look at that score, 101-43 in those 5 games in the half. That ridiculous. You got to be able to do a little bit faster. And I'm starting to blame. This is where you actually blame Doug Peterson and our offensive coordinator, because these are the guys that are supposed to be coming up with better game plans. Now, yeah, I understand you cannot deal with if they drop the ball, if they're going to turn the ball over. You can't coach that. They got to hold the ball. I mean, I know that they can coach it. Obviously, they get to be able to hold the ball, but you can't direct them. Hey, well, you dropped the ball. What are you going to do? I mean, obviously, turnovers cannot happen. And like I said, a sack. They only 60 yards. In the first 5 minutes, they only gained 60 yards and scored 14 points. And the NFL, in their wisdom, saw kind of what was happening here. They tried to slow the game down. Like I said, they scored that touchdown. Did you notice that that review seemed an awfully long review, that they waited 10 minutes to try to just slow down the game? They tried. It was the first time I ever felt the NFL tried to help out the Eagles. It's like, okay, obviously this is going a little too fast for you guys. We're going to slow it down to see if we can make this an interesting game. It didn't work. Unfortunately, I mean, really, they should have went 3-and-out in the next series after it was 14-0. And, he got hit in the helmet, so it was a 15-yard penalty, then another 15-yard penalty. They went driving down the field off of penalties. So but they did score the touchdown, made it 14-7. They did knock Dallas out 3-and-out the following series, but they couldn't do nothing after that, and it just kind of went downhill from there. Giving up 100 yards to Ezekiel Elliott kind of hurt. I know he got it on his leg last run of the game. I get it, but realistically, it didn't matter because they were beating us. I mean, Dak only threw for 238 yards. They ran for 198 yards, though. I mean, Dak ran for like 40. Pollard ran for 30. Zeke ran for 112. It was a total and utter disgrace. They were not prepared. I felt they got fully and utterly outcoached. I know that Dallas has got a new offensive coordinator. I know Garrett's on the hot seat back there, but there's no way that you should get embarrassed like that. I mean, the 2 plays that they were open, but, miles of open space that nobody went to cover the one tight end, that nobody went to do. He comes and rolls out, and there's like nobody there. Zeke is off by himself for that other touchdown. I mean, these are the things that cannot happen. They cannot happen. If these are good teams. Good teams don't make these types of mistakes. And obviously, right now, the Eagles are not a very good team. They got to pick it up. They got the talent. But they're not doing things that are making them cohesive. And that's part of the issue and problem. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about on my Birds breakdown is that the Eagles defense is a fly zone because everybody seems to be passing the ball. You notice we've played 7 games. The Jets had their 3rd string and their 4th string quarterback. I didn't put their 128 yards passing up there because I didn't think it was necessary. However, Redskins, 380. The Falcons, 320. Lions only had 201 yards, but they still had 2 big plays. Green Bay, 422, 333. Like I said, he only had 239 yards passing last night. But 10 plays they've given up over 30 yards. 69, 48, 54, 34, 48, 40, 31. And most of these are touchdowns. Most of them are touchdowns. You just cannot continue to give up these big plays. I don't know what Schwartz has got to do to get these cornerbacks some help. It's really starting to cause issues and problems on that, the fact that they can't do that. And, of course, we cut Scandrick today. I heard that just about a half hour before we got started here. So Scandrick is now gone. Obviously, he had one good game. I guess they didn't feel that they needed cornerbacks. And I did notice that the Oakland Raiders traded a cornerback today to the Houston Texans. So I know that Houston lost yesterday to Frank Reich. That everybody keeps saying that Frank Reich may have been the reason why we won a Super Bowl. I tell you, that wasn't the case. All right, Frank Reich was not the sole reason we won a Super Bowl. We won a Super Bowl because we played like a team. That we played next man up. That we did certain things that we have not done since that point. It may have come back a little bit last year with Foles. I don't want to hear the Foles talk. It's not Wentz. Wentz did have a bad game yesterday. Obviously, he's, you could tell. He felt like, I've heard from a couple people today that they felt that at 14-0 that the team quit. Wentz walked off the field with his head down. And those are types of things. When you're giving up the ball, when you get 2 turnovers in the first 5 minutes of a game, obviously it's. When I think about it, I remember watching this movie called The Replacements. And I don't know if any of you are Keanu Reeves fans. It's like it doesn't matter whether you are or not. But at one point, the whole team is there talking to, and Gene Hackman's the coach, and he goes, "What is anybody afraid of?" And after they get through all of the bees and all this other stuff, Keanu Reeves says, "Quicksand." And then he has to explain it. He goes, first one thing goes wrong, then another thing goes wrong. And next thing you know, you're swimming in it because it just starts to really overtake you. And I kind of think that that's what happened yesterday. That the Eagles thought that they might have been prepared, thought that they might have been able to get in there. I listened to Derek Gunn sometime earlier in the week, and he was talking either on the radio or on TV, and he was saying that he felt that just within the locker room, that they don't have that type of swagger that kind of makes it that this team is ready to go play Dallas. That he felt just from talking to the guys that it was not there. And I kind of dismissed it at the time. This is like 3 or 4 days ago. But obviously, he must have been right. He was dead on with it. Because obviously, they didn't come out to play. And it was an entire loss. Lane Johnson, you never hear about Lane Johnson giving up a sack. He did yesterday, and even the replacement for Peters did great. I thought he did a really great job yesterday for his first start. And he was ready to play. He was probably the one that was most fired up. Dallas Goedert, he dropped the one ball, tried to make it up for the touchdown. Zach Ertz couldn't get open. Those are those types of things. It seemed like everybody was a little slow. Aguilar saying, may have, he didn't put his hands out far enough. All that stuff is fans trying to make excuses. They're trying to point the fingers at the players. Listen, the team can point their own fingers. That's why they are a team. That it was a whole team loss. Everybody contributed to that loss. From Jenkins to. Just like when they did a quarterback sneak and he went for 8 yards. Everybody's not too busy not worrying about tackling him, trying to get the ball. And then next thing you know, he almost broke it for a touchdown. Yeah. Those are the types of things. Those are the types of mental mistakes that cannot happen with good teams. And it's good that it's happening now. We're only 7 weeks in. Hey, listen, I understand everybody's angry and upset. And I am not one person to tell anybody how they should be a fan. But the season is not over. You can think about it. If you want to think that it's over, if you want to dismiss your fandom and say, okay, that's the end of the season, that's up to you. That you can do that all you want. I don't do that. I bring it every play of every game. And I want my Eagles to do the same thing. I know that like I said, it's tough to come up here and talk about this. It's tough when I'm hearing on the stadium that everybody's saying, Eagles suck. Eagles suck. Just because we had a whole bunch of fans in their stadium going, Dallas sucks. So I hate it when I hear that. Just like when when I was in Minnesota and I had a whole 2 sections singing na 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 hey hey goodbye to me because they know that I brought it. I went there and I took it like a man. Just like I'm going to take my beating from this guy over here, from the guy I have to go wear a Dallas jersey at one of my arm wrestling tournaments and all this other stuff. I'm a man of my bet. I'm going to honor it because I'm a man. You know what I mean? But you better believe that I want my Eagles to start putting up some more. It's time for us to really start to put some pedal to the metal here because we ain't got much time. We go 3-5, 3-6. Then at that point you could say, all right, now we're starting to play for next season. We're only one game out. It could be a lot worse. Could be a lot worse. We're going to be playing a good Buffalo team coming up here. I'm going to be up in Buffalo. I'm going to be busting through tables. I'm going to be doing my thing. I'm going to be making sure that I bring my A game to that field because they are. Sean McDermott is salivating ready to play the Eagles. And they ain't got that good of an offense. We're going to go over that in a little bit. But they do have a good defense. So, I mean, they're like the third-ranked defense in the NFL right now. So those are the types of things we're going to have to really have a good game plan in order. Like I said, we haven't lost to an AFC team in a long time. So I'd rather it not be Sunday, especially while I'm up there. But those things happen sometimes. I want to see better play. I just want to see better play, better coaching. I do not want to feel like my coaches are outcoached because that's half of the problem that I had. I feel like that Peterson was completely outclassed and outcoached by Garrett. And I don't think Garrett's that good of a coach. Their offensive coordinator, he had a couple of great plays. Those play designs, those 2 or 3 play designs that I saw were fantastic plays. When somebody's open in the flat, wide open, with nobody around him, that means somebody did something right there. You know what I mean? That Dallas knew, and Dak Prescott also was quick on it. They knew that the Eagles were in the wrong defense. They switched it up. Next thing you know, touchdown. Those are the things that cannot happen. And some of that falls on the coaches. Some of that falls on the captains of the team. There seemed to be a lack of leadership there. I do not believe that this team lacks the leadership. I think that maybe that it's become complacent. And we can no longer be complacent if you can't take a play off. You can't take a couple of plays off. You can't take a week off. This is the NFL. All these people make a lot of money, just like they do. So they have to bring it all the time. All the time. You cannot take these plays off. And it's really starting to get under my skin that they're having any of these problems. But anyways, that's our Birds Breakdown. I'm going to do a quick commercial for CBD because they are our sponsor this week. Like I said, I was out there for the...
CBD
I'll be back in a minute.
Phillycom is your single online source destination for all your CBD needs. With new and exciting items added daily, CBDphilly.com's unique product line is available to explore at your convenience 24/7. CBD is an incredible all-natural legal substance that is extremely useful for pain relief, digestive issues, irritated skin, nausea, relaxation, and even beauty products including hair growth. CBDphilly.com has a wide selection of CBD products to choose from, including tinctures, gummies, vape pens, muscle freeze, and other pain solutions. We also carry lotions, bath bombs, anti-aging cream, and skin treatments to help make you look as good as you feel. CBDphilly.com even provides products for your furry best friends, such as pet treats and tinctures to manage anxiety. Our products utilize the highest quality CBD extracts to ensure that you are feeling and looking the best. Visit our website or give us a call at 1-877-4CBD-MED. We love CBD at CBDphilly.com.
Philly Sports Guy here, and I'm here at CBD Philly's Grand Opening here in Fox Chase, and I'm here with the big man.
What's up, everybody? Go Birds, baby.
You know him, Rob Dumpy. You know him. You got the tattoos. You know the man. He's the man. That's what we're talking about. And we're here at the Grand Opening at CBD Philly. We're doing our thing. They've got a whole bunch of different products here for all your CBD needs. They got, what's your name? Kat knows all about the CBD products. She's got the beauty products all locked down. She's got all that different stuff. They got coffee. They got bath bombs. They got all different stuff. Look at this. Look at all that stuff. Hot sauce. They got gummies, proteins, energy drinks, froggies. I guess that's for when you got a sore throat. I always wind up with a sore throat. That's what I'm talking about. They definitely need that type of stuff. Daily dose stuff. They got pet products. Look at that. Pet products. For when your dog needs a CBD, you got a dog that's going a little crazy, that's what these are for. They definitely work awesome. I'm an arm wrestler. I do different things like that. My arms are always hurting after a tournament. They got the muscle freeze. This stuff works great. I tell you, I put that stuff on my arm. It feels better in about 15 minutes. I could go for another 4 or 5 hours of arm wrestling. That stuff is awesome. But look at this stuff over here. They got the beauty products. Let's see, here we go. The beauty products right there. They got the different oils for muscles and joints. They've got vapes. They've got t-shirts. They've got all the stuff here. Everything that you need for CBDs. That's why you come to CBD Philly. Because Philly loves CBD. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Go Birds.
Okay, where have you
All right, and this, I want to show this. I actually put this on my list today. This is a friend of mine's truck. This was during the Jets game, but I kind of felt that this was appropriate because they really got burnt last night by the Cowboys. So this, unfortunately, this was a gorgeous truck. And wound up having an unfortunate situation happen. I hope he doesn't mind me showing it. I know that he is very depressed about the fact that he lost his truck. He had Wentz on the other side. This was on Facebook. It was a gorgeous Eagles truck, Dodge truck, and the brake line broke and it ignited on the engine, and it really was an unfortunate type of situation. So it was, I had to kind of show that a little bit. I said I apologize to Eben for showing that. I know that he's not real happy about that, but it was something I had to do. And this is the other thing I wanted to kind of show. I took some clips today. Of the post game.
After a game like this, we all have to kind of step back, look in the mirror, especially myself. It starts with me, and this is one of those games that I take personal from that standpoint. We didn't play well, and that's personal on me. So I got to get that fixed.
So you said that.
Is this the worst loss since you've been here?
Yeah, it's been the worst loss since he's been
It's
here.
either 1 or 2, yes.
This is right after the game, guys.
What has to change is we got to roll our sleeves up and go to work. We got to figure out what's going on. We got 9 games left. It's going to start with me. I'm going to own this one, for the football team. I'm going to look hard the next couple of days, but we got the guys in the locker room to get it fixed. I know that, and I still have a lot of faith in them, a lot of trust, and we'll get it fixed.
Did you see any signs during the week of practice that this kind of performance was coming?
No, not really. I mean, you can say this and that. Other than that, really, it goes down to players making plays. So we didn't execute. There's going to be a lot of people watching the film and watch it hard and take accountability.
Accountability. They say that word a lot.
It seems like every week we're asking guys about the slow starts.
We're running out of time right now, so we got to fix it, and we got to fix it now with the guys we got. We just can't make no excuses. We got to get that stuff together.
In hindsight of so-called anonymous quotes coming out of the locker room during this week, were you satisfied with the way this team approached practice mentally and physically this year?
I think we were all right.
I think we were all right. See, they know that they didn't do it. He's talking about this. This is why I wanted to get some of this stuff down.
National TV, and that's just the truth. We got embarrassed, and they kicked our ass.
They kicked our ass.
I mean, today was embarrassing. I'm not sure. It's one of the most embarrassing games I've ever been a part of here in Philly. I take a lot of pride playing for the Eagles. Take a lot of pride playing for this city. We took one on the chin today against the team that we hate. Simple as that. I feel bad for the fans, honestly.
He feels bad for the fans. We don't feel, not as bad as I feel. It was my birthday.
3-4. Not ideally where I thought we were going to be right now, but if you look at it in the big picture, one game out of first place.
Just trying to make a play, trying to make a turnover,
No, just like I said, I think we just played shitty football today.
Just played shitty football today.
Preparation? What is it?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is practice. I mean, football is
Gary.
a tough sport, and you can't just show up and play and expect to be in your gap and know everything.
Linebacker.
We got to practice throughout the week. We're getting better throughout the week. We just got to be a better football team going forward.
Jenkins. Nelson Aguilar. He was the last. He's the one I ended with.
move on the safety. Using the space that I had to run across the field, and I was running. And, by the time I was trying to track it, the ball was already at possession. I wish I would be able to get there, but I don't know what happened, because two situations. I don't know if he was rushed or whatever, but we had enough field, and I was trying to get to it.
What does the offense need to do to get back to where you know to be?
Keep working, honestly. Work harder. Focus in more. Everybody has to put in more work. Take accountability.
More work. More work. More work. That's what they keep saying. More work. Can't do bad work, though. If you're doing bad work, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're not.
I made a move on a guy. I'm starting to run to my landmark, and I get closer, and I'm seeing it low in trajectory. So it is what it is. I can't really explain that because we always see every day we see big plays, but then we see some that just miss, and it sucks because we're on the end of not making them, and I wish we were making them. So I understand there's focus on that. But that was one of those situations I wish we would have made.
Well, what I saw is, first off, Doug Peterson set the tone.
So this is the last thing I watched.
And to me, it's like
this morning.
You see the Cowboys' take on it, that hey, he guaranteed it. Yeah, but you know what he did? He backed down on what he said. In his locker room, it's like, whether you said it or not, you put in there that you really don't believe it. So to me, man, pull a Buddy Ryan. If you're gonna say it, double down on it. And number one, my dad would have doubled down and he would have beat Dallas like he always did. This is something right here, Doug Peterson. Come on, dude. Like I'm hey, it's like a skunk. You put the skunk out of the box. You can put him back in like he tried to do. Well, that smell is still out there. Dallas had that smell and beat the heck out of you. And to me, but Peterson, that message like, hey, dude, I get it. You won a Super Bowl and all that.
You haven't, Rex. So I don't want to hear it.
Also. But you're a legend. I'm just telling you right now, man up, Philly. Wants you to sit back and say, I'm gonna beat the hell out of Dallas and go out and do it. Right now, it's like, ooh, now he whimpers away, man. I lost some respect there.
All right.
Philly Sports Guy here, and I'm here at the Spec Mix Bricklayer 500.
That's
Doug Peterson did win a Super Bowl.
that was what I. So I had to finish with Rex Ryan. Like I said, when I was watching him today, I was a little upset about the fact that somebody, I understand, Buddy was his father, and he loves his father, and he wants to like to talk. Oh, he lost respect for Peterson. I don't care what you got to say there, Rex. You ain't worth nothing to me. You ain't won nothing, so I don't want to hear what you got to say. Bapping. Oh, well, Buddy, well, Dallas sucked real bad during that time. Because I tell you what, once they made that trade, and all of a sudden got Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, and Irvin. You know what? Buddy Ryan was already fired. And then he was destroying the Arizona. Actually, it was the St. Louis Cardinals. It was Arizona Cardinals. He destroyed that team out there because he brought everybody from the Eagles over to there. So I don't want to hear from you, Rex, on how great your father was. Because if your father won a playoff game, maybe we would have done something. But beyond that, that's all ancient history. Talking about beating the Cowboys then. We're in today. So yes, I understand. The one thing he did say, though, was that Peterson did go out and say, hey, yes, we're going to win this game. And he tried to fire up his team. And then he backtracked a little bit. He did do that. And that makes me think that a little bit about what he said actually is truth. That, hey, if you try to set the tone and then you say, oh, well, no, I didn't say it like that, that is something that's bad. You got to own it. You got to own, hey, I did say it. I own it. And I'm going to make sure my team is ready. And then if they come out like this, then you really got to eat crow, which is kind of what he did. He backtracked a little bit. He still had to eat the crow. So you might as well force feed it. You got to force feed your players. Say, listen, now I stuck my ass out there on the line for you guys. You guys better back me up some. Obviously, they ain't done that. And now we got a 5-1 Buffalo Bills team. 5-1 Buffalo Bills team. And a Sean McDermott who is dying to play the Eagles. He's been salivating on this since he left Philadelphia. Thought he got a bad rap here, and now he's there. And you know what? His defense is the third best in the league. I actually took some of their stuff. They got 20 points per game. They don't score points. Their offense ain't so hot. Actually, we have like the 20th ranked offense. They got the 21st ranked offense. So they're actually a little bit below us in that. But all these other stuff. But the one stats I do want to show you are the important ones. First off, I want to see how they do against the their passing offense. Their passing offense, they're 21st in passing offense. So our cornerbacks are not going to necessarily get tested like they did previously. You know. Then you got their rushing. Their rushing ain't so hot either. They fall into, where are they at here? They're 7th in rushing, 144 yards a game. They do run the ball. That's primarily their offense, and that was getting rid of Shady McCoy. So, I mean, Shady's over in Kansas City right now. So, obviously, they're doing something right with their offensive line. They definitely go by that. But you definitely see it right here. Their defense is 3rd. They only let up 15 points a game. 15 points a game. Obviously, they scored 20 points, so that means they're 5-1. They had a barn burner. Well, it wasn't. It was a defensive showdown against the Patriots and lost that game just by like 3 points. So this team is actually a very good team, and we are going to have to do some offensive stuff to be able to get around them. Their defense is good. We got to be able to move the ball. I think they are 7th against the run, and they're 3rd against the pass. That means that their cornerbacks actually know what they're doing, and they actually run good schemes. So that means it's going to be tough for our guys to get open. And we're not going to have Deshaun Jackson again. You know, Aguilar, I don't know what he's going on with his mind. Obviously, you didn't hear, you haven't heard Arcega-Whiteside. You haven't heard about Hollins. You know, so obviously it's who we got and who you keep hearing. Jeffries, Ertz, Dallas Goedert, you know, and Aguilar. They're the ones that are going to be the ones that we're throwing it to. And I guess Sanders, you know, and I'm not exactly sure why we continue not to use Howard. I don't understand it. Why can't we get it through that this guy carries people? He moves the line of scrimmage 4 and 5 yards at a time. Every game he's got almost 5 yards to carry, but we can't seem to use him right. We're always trying to get Sanders in there. Sanders is a rookie. Let him play like a rookie, like you have every other rookie on every other position, except obviously quarterback, when we had Carson Wentz go out there and play all the games. You know, every other rookie has to sit the bench and ride the bench for most of the year. But for some reason, we're trying to force feed Sanders. And I tell you, he can never seem to find the hole. Always taking that extra step and that extra juke for no reason. When we find the hole, we move the pile. That's what Howard does. He moves the pile. Every time he's carrying guys with him. That's what I want. Our offensive line is one of the strengths of our team. I do not understand why we don't want them pushing forward. The first 3 plays of the game were run, run, run. And you know what? We moved. We got 2 first downs in those first 3 plays. And then we threw the ball, and of course, it was the fumble. So, I mean, those are the types of things that just cannot happen. But I don't understand why we continue to get away from Howard. Let this guy run. I said that one of the keys to the game was that Howard was going to get 100 yards rushing. And you know what? Even when it was 14-0, we started to run the ball again. And you know what? We started to move the ball. So I don't understand why they got away from it again. It seems like they run the ball 7 yards. They run the ball 6 yards. They run the ball 8 yards. Then they run the ball. They only got 1 yard there. We got to pull them out. Now we got to throw the ball. I don't understand what is going on in the offensive minds. Are you watching this different game than I am? Are you not seeing the same thing when I can show you run after run after run after run with Howard and him moving the pile let's take him out. Nope, he should come out. Let's put Sanders in there. Sanders has got a little bit more speed. It don't matter if he's got more speed if he ain't getting through the hole. That's the problem. Use him on the wheel route. That's where he does best. That's why I think you should have. They used it a couple of times. They went with the big package. 2 tight ends, 2 running back sets. I don't mind that set. I like that. I think that that's where we have our most options. You're going to have that you're going to have everybody doing the 4-3. I think that he plays a 4-3 defense as well, Sean McDermott. And so that's going to be where we're going to have our best matchups when you got the options. I know that Carson Wentz does not like the run-pass option, but I tell you what, ain't nothing else working right now. We better start to figure it out too, because the points are not getting on the board. I turned 47 yesterday, and I said that they were going to score 47 points. Well, between both teams, they did score 47 points. I did say that it was going to be a 20-point win, over 20 points. Well, it was over 20 points. It just wasn't my team. I'm going to bring him up. I'm going to let him do a little beat up. Come on up. Yo, yeah. Put it down.
Yeah, good.
I thought he'd come here. I thought he'd wear a Dallas Cowboys jersey. He didn't wear a jersey. He didn't wear a jersey.
But look, what I am going to do is I'm going to give him a wing. It's called an eagle wing, the ones that Dallas clipped, roasted, and toasted.
Here
they are, right here. Right here from Chelsea's. They sent them right down to Chelsea's.
And Chelsea Tavern is a beautiful place. Those wings are fantastic.
There you go.
I am going to take the wing. I'm going to eat my crow, because that's what happened. I talked a lot of smack. And I got beat. You know what I mean? So I'm going to let him have his moment in the sun here.
I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to do that.
You're on the bye week this week, so you guys are not. You're not on the bye week. You guys have the 49ers, right?
Yeah.
49ers, they're 6-0.
Listen, I'm not going to lie. I was a little worried because it usually goes like this. You beat us in Dallas, and we usually beat you in Philly. That's how it really used to get. Really, I was concerned. I'm not going to lie. But it was what it was.
That was your fourth win in a row against us. The Cowboys, fourth win in a row. Hey, listen, I've been paying attention. This is the first time. That you guys have won in Dallas without going into overtime.
That's true.
Without going into overtime in 5 years.
That's true.
5 years. So I mean, that's
normally we don't beat you in Dallas.
Normally you don't.
We don't. You usually beat us, and it's usually vice versa.
So I got to imagine you had to been singing happy birthday to me after the first 5 minutes of that game.
What happened is my legs are a little stiff from putting it in Philly's ass. Every time they were
So, all right, he's done beating me up now. I'm done with him. Anyways, so obviously, like I said, I take my beatings. I know what it's like. I took my beatings from the Vikings fans after I told them that we were going to smoke them. I said that we were going to smoke Dallas. We didn't do it.
You'll be all right.
I know that this week is going to be even tougher. I got to imagine that the Eagles are going to be. I mean, I didn't even see an early line. My thought is that it's going to be a 6 or a 7-point dog. That they're going in there. They're not going to score a lot of points. I got to imagine the over/under in this game could be somewhere around 38, 39 points. The Eagles are going to be in a little bit of a dogfight, and this is to kind of find out who's a man and who's not. You know what I mean? Because if they show up for this game, that like they did in Green Bay, that's going to say something to me. And I think that's we as fans want that. You know what I mean? Like I said, I can't be somebody who tells you how to be a fan. You know, I understand how everybody is angry and everybody wants to quit on the team. You can't, and I can't tell you that you're wrong. Right now, this is not a good team. You know, they've got a lot of good players on the team, but this is not a good team. And how we won in 2017 is when we started well back before, when Carson Wentz brought his entire, receiving corps out to North Dakota and practiced with them there, and they became cohesive. And then he took his offensive line and took them all out for steak dinners, again, before the season. There's something missing on this team, and it has nothing to do with actual talent. It has something to do with that for some reason, I play softball. I'm an arm wrestler. And I'm a firm believer, teams that drink together and play together win together. And that they're not doing that. They're not enjoying each other. They're not having a good time. And I know losing doesn't make it any easier. But anyways, it's about time they start to figure this out a little bit better. We can no longer, I don't want to keep hearing, oh, somebody's bapping off in the background. Oh, this unspoken source. I know that Howie's got to be saying, I know that Howie's not sitting on his hands. I know that he's not sitting there saying, okay, this team's okay. And anybody who thinks that he's not doing anything or that he doesn't want to do anything, I know that you're wrong. Howie wants to win just like everybody else does. Just like Jeffrey Lurie does, just like Howie does, like Doug Peterson does, like Mike Rowe does. They all want to win. They all want to win. They don't like what's going on here, just like we don't like it. So you have to trust in them. I always said Doug Peterson's got the biggest head in the NFL. Well, and then when you got a big head, that means you got big brains. Well, it's time for him to start using them and start to figure it out a little bit more. He's got to, we were talking about loving them, loving in on the players and stuff like that. This guy brought us to a Super Bowl 2 years ago. It's 2 years. Before that, in 2016 and 2015, we said we would go 10 years of bad football for one Super Bowl. Well, I understand now we're in the real, and that 10 years went by last year. So that 10 years was all gone in 1 year's time. We got to get back to Eagle football, to smash mouth Eagle football, and that's what this team is missing a little bit. They're missing a little bit of the swagger. Hey, listen, they're 3-4, and that's those 3 and 4. What was I saying? At 3 and 4, teams are 16% chance of making the playoffs. Doug Peterson was part of a 1-5 team that were 1-5. And they made the playoffs. They won 10 games straight. That was with Andy Reid out in Kansas City a few years ago. So these are things that can be overcome. And it's interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see if he's going to be able to do it. And that's what's going to define whether he should be a coach of this team next year or not. There's no need to fire him now. I don't want to fire anybody now. Do I think that Mike Rowe needs some help? Do I think that he needs a different offensive mind to be able to do something with his team? Yes. Do I think that Schwartz has got to figure out a better way to utilize the talent that he does have instead of worrying about what he does not have? I think he tried to do a little bit of that yesterday, and he got burnt on it a little bit. They did have a big play of 40-some yards. It was like the 44-yard play, but for the most part, he got burnt all the way around. And it's time that we got to start to make the changes. I know that we're a little dinged up. It's week 7 already in the NFL. Everybody's dinged up. You know what I mean? That's part of the game. You know what? The 49ers are 6-0. You know what I mean? The 49ers are 6-0. And I had to hear about that. One of my fan caves has a fiance or boyfriend, fiance, whatever he happens to be, is a 49ers fan. And he liked to rub it in my face the other day. The 49ers are undefeated. Yeah. And you know who runs that? Lynch runs that. He was a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. I can't stand the 49ers. And they're undefeated. So obviously, they figured it out a little bit. They don't have any better talent than we do. They may have a little bit easier schedule right now, but you got to beat who you play against. And that's all you're able to do. We got to go and we got to bring it to the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to be up there at that game. I'm going to be bringing it myself. I know that I will bring it. I bring it every play of every game all day. And that's what the Eagles are going to have to do. All day long, they're going to have to bring it every down. Every down. They got to make something happen. We cannot take any more plays off, any more weeks off. It's time. It is time to get things moving. So, anyways, guys, tonight, we do have a game tonight that we're going to talk about briefly. It's the Patriots against the Jets. The line that I saw was -10 for the Pats, and the over-under was 43.5. Last week I did win. I did win with my pick, saying that I thought that they would cover, and they did cover. I think the Jets, I think this is going to be a defensive battle tonight. I don't think you're going to see a lot of points. You saw the 49ers win 9-0 last night against the Redskins. And I said on the Edge of Philly Sports Show that I thought that the Redskins would cover, that it was a 10-point spread. They did cover 9-0. So obviously it was way under whatever the number is. I think that this is going to be an under. So my thing is, I think that the Patriots win the game. I think that the Jets definitely cover. Like I said, it's not going to be a 10-point spread. And plus, the Patriots are playing in New York. I don't say that the Jets are going to win this game, but I do think that they definitely cover and go under. That would be my parlay. So anyways, thanks again, guys, for another week of Birds Breakdown here at the Chelsea Tavern. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. Just want to make sure to remind you guys that I'm going to be up in Buffalo, so anybody who's up there, definitely search me out. I'm going to see if I can put together a pep rally. I'm not sure exactly where that would be yet. I don't know Buffalo really well, but the Bills Mafia take over every place. I'm going to be busted through some of those tables. I know that the Eagle Demon's going to be there. We're both going to be busted through some tables. We're going to make something happen up there, and we're definitely going to be rooting on our Birds to make sure that they got something happening. I also want to let everybody know we're starting. Tickets are starting to go now for our Eagles Redskins trip. That's December 15th. We're going to leave from Ridley Park. We're going to be going and taking an executive bus. That means that bus is going to have a bathroom in it, which means that you can eat and drink all the beer that you want to and not have to hold it for 2 hours while we're getting to the parking lot. We're going to have a full tailgate there, and we're in the lower bowl. We're not sitting all the way up in the nosebleeds. We're in the lower bowl. We're going to be there, and we're going to be enjoying ourselves. They're going to hear us at the field. That's what I'm talking about. So, anyways, guys, thank you very much for joining us in for our Birds Breakdown. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles. Don't worry, we're still coming. We're still there. We haven't quit yet, and neither should you guys. Go Birds!